my stretchy little daffodils. I hope you're well. I hope you're having a nice time. I hope you're doing fun things. I hope you had a brilliant Easter holiday. Here's a cat again, different cat. And welcome. Hooray! It's homeschooling with the niNcompOOps. It's time to learn new words because words are important, because without words, something like this would sound like this. So we need words. Words are really important. And I'm really good at words because I am Dr. CARRIE QUINLAN. I know loads of words, and I'm going to teach you about a new one from St Dictionary's Book of Words. We're going to learn a new word. What's it going to be? Who knows? Let's find out. Go for the middle. It's going to be pit. Pit. Wow. Well, what a word, eh? Pit. It's like a big hole. A pit. What happened, right, is also there are a couple of British Prime Ministers called Pitt. And I mentioned both of those things because they're connected. They're connected because a pit, a big hole, is called a pit because of the two British Prime Ministers called Pitt. Now there was Pitt the Elder and Pitt the Younger, and they were called that, right, because Pitt the Elder was a tree, an elder tree, and Pitt the Younger was made of mince. So that's why they needed to distinguish between the two, and so they called the one that was an elder tree Pitt the Elder, and the one that was made of mince Pitt the Younger. It just made it easier to remember because you take your common sense, something that everyone will remember. He's made of mince, so we call him Pitt the Younger. That's how you know. But what's this got to do with big holes? I'm going to tell you what it is. Right. So Pitt the Younger, made of mince, was walking down the street one day, thinking how lovely it was to be Prime Minister. Oh, I love being Prime Minister. I get to tell people what to do. I get to sometimes wear a hat. I get to make laws. I get to sit in green chairs going, I love being Prime Minister. It's amazing. I get to live in 10 Downing Street. I get to be next door to 11 Downing Street. It's just, I've got a cat. It's completely brilliant. I want to be Prime Minister for, he said, right? Because he fell in a big hole. Because he was so concentrating on how much he loved being Prime Minister, he wasn't actually concentrating on where he was going, which is a problem a lot of Prime Ministers have. They concentrate it's really cool being Prime Minister. I'm really enjoying being Prime Minister. And then they walk into a wall or something because they're not really concentrating on what they should be concentrating. They need, the bigger picture thing. And Pitt the Younger fell into this massive hole, right? And the trouble is, it was such a deep hole that it was the bottom of it was quite near the centre of the earth. So it was quite hot. And Pitt the Younger, being made of mince, cooked, which is awkward. So there had to be a whole new general election, and it was just terribly awkward. And so in order to then warn future prime ministers about the dangers of big holes, they decided the best way was, rather than just call them call something like that a big hole, because that wouldn't actually, they wouldn't remember that. So they called it a pit, so that future prime ministers would know to be careful of big holes, because we lost a prime minister down a big hole. Pitt the Younger, made of mince. So that's what a pit is. It's a big hole that prime ministers who are made of mince fall into. So that's a pit for you. Pit. And return to homeschooling with the niNcompOOps Subscribe. You can subscribe on our YouTube channel here. You can also find Ask the niNcompOOps, which is the regular show we do. Me and Professor Andy Stanton. And Professor Andy Stanton will be back next time to teach you about another word from St Dictionary's book of words. And yes, go about your day. Fly, be free. Whatever that means.
Hello, you robotic little cocktail cherries, and welcome to another episode of Homeschooling with the niNcompOOps. Yay! My name is Professor Andy Stanton, and I am so intelligent that I once challenged a game of chess to a game of chess. Yeah, that's right, I actually challenged chess itself to chess, and I beat chess at chess. Which may not have happened. I can't remember. It might have just been a dream. But if it did happen, amazing. And if it was just a dream, still a good dream. And I'm here today to help you get more intelligent by helping you to learn words from the English language. Now, the book with all the words in the English language is this fellow. It is called a Narachidoni. The Narachidoni contains all the words in the English language. So I'm going to open it at random. Not even going to look at all. Zippity, 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 zippity. Let's go at random. Oh, it's going near the end of the English language. Near the end, let's have a look. Today's word is, it's not that near the end, tape. Tape. Now, you might not know this because you are only small children, and today when you want to record things, all you do is you just turn on your iPad and you go press record and it presses record, or you turn on your phone and you go press record and you start recording things, or you turn on your toaster and press record and you start recording your bread, don't you? And then once you've recorded your bread, you can play back your bread, and then you can put a filter on your bread to make it browner, and to make it a bit hotter, put a hot filter on, and you've recorded the bread and turned it into toast. But when I was a small child, and I was a young lady, we did not have all of these modern ways of recording things that we have today. Back in the old days, we had to use tape. Tape was what you would record things on. If you wanted to record your voice, you would have to get some sellotape, and you would have to stretch out the sellotape, and then you would have to speak very loudly onto the tape and go, "Hello, my name is Andy Stanton, and I am recording on this tape." And then do a bit more tape and go, "I am now going to sing a..." Right? And then you would record on the sellotape, and you would cut off the sellotape at the end. And then if you wanted to play back the tape so someone else could hear it, you would have to wrap the tape around someone's ears, and then they could hear the words that you'd recorded onto the tape, which was incredible, right? Now, also sometimes you wanted to make a recording of a song to send to your friends. So you go, oh, like for instance, if you had a crush on a girl named Nina, let's just say, not saying it happened, let's just say there was a nice girl called Nina, lived down the road from you, not saying it happened, let's just say she was a nice girl with brown hair, not saying it really happened, but let's just say you really fancied her, and let's just say you're about 15 and she was about 15 and you really wanted to ask her out, but you were a bit shy. Not saying it really happened, but let's just say she had a big boyfriend called Gary. He's like this, and you're a bit scared of Gary. Oh no, I wish Gary and Nina weren't together. Gary's like, "Oi, if I ever see you coming near Nina, Stanton, I'm gonna smash you up." Not saying it happened, and let's just say like you thought, oh, maybe Gary's not the right guy for her. Nina and Gary are together, let's just say I'm not saying it happened. You're blushing, I'm not blushing, you're blushing. Oh, shut up. Not saying it happened. Let's just say you wanted to ask Nina out. I'm not saying it happened. Not saying, but let's just say you wanted to ask Nina out, and you think, I'll make her a tape. I will make her a tape, and you get the sellotape, and you start and you hold it up to the radio to record your favourite song, and it's a love song, and the love song goes, "I love you so much, I don't think you're with the right guy. I don't think you're with the right guy at all. I think you should be with someone else," which is a lovely hit single of that time, and you record the song onto the tape by holding the tape really close to the radio, and then, not saying it happened, but then you send the tape to Nina, yeah? You send the tape to Nina, and you think, oh brilliant, she'll play that, and then she'll realise that I'm in love with her. But unfortunately, Gary gets the tape. Gary's round to her house, and when it comes through the letterbox, he picks up the sellotape and goes, "Oh, what's this? Someone sent Nina a tape." And he puts it around his face, and he hears this song. I love you so much, I don't think you're with the right guy. Oh, it's Stanton. It's Stanton trying to steal Nina off me. And then Gary comes marching round to my house and he smashes the door down. He's so strong, he smashes it down just by looking at it with his fists. And the door goes, explodes off. He rumbles upstairs. He knows where my room is, upstairs. He rumbles into my room. He grabs me like this and he goes, "Oi, Stanton, did you send Nina a tape that goes, 'I love you so much'?" And I go, no, I don't think so. That must have been someone else." And he goes, "You're lying to me." And then I go, no, "You're lying to me." And then do you know what he does? He gets my sellotape and he wraps it all around me so I can't move. And that's another thing you can do with tape. You can tie people up. He ties me up like that and he leaves me there. And I'm going to tell you a true fact now. That happened when I was 15. He tied me up and I couldn't break out of that sellotape for another 17 years. So there you go. I was tied up for 17 years and it was only when I was 32 that I finally managed to escape by realising that I could just escape if I tried hard enough. So there we have it. Tape. That's what we used to record. But nowadays, it's much better that we just use mobile phones and stuff instead because it saves a lot of time because you can't tie somebody up with a mobile phone. It just doesn't work. Thank you very much for listening. Next time, my colleague, Dr. CARRIE QUINLAN, will be back to teach you about another word. And also check out our podcast, Ask the niNcompOOps, because it's really funny and you might enjoy it with your faces. Thank you so much for listening, guys. Bye!
Hello, you sparkly little flower pots. I hope you're well today. I'm fine. I am, as you know, Professor CARRIE QUINLAN of the University of Daffodils and Sweet Corn, and I, together with Dr. Andy Stanton of the Higher Education College of Wheelie Bins and Smells, do a podcast called Ask the niNcompOOps, in which children come ask us questions and we tell them things and they go, wow. We can't do that at the moment. So we're doing this. We're doing videos for you from St Dictionary's Book of Words. We tell you about a word and you go, wow. That is the plan. That is how it works. Come back every weekday and learn a new word. Today's word from St Dictionary's Book of the Words. I'm going to go for the very middle. Well, as close to the middle as I can get. Ready? Obtuse angle. Obtuse angle. That, of course, obtuse angle is one of the less intelligent angles. Now, you get an acute angle, which is, of course, one of the sweeter angles, and then an obtuse angle is less intelligent than the rather sweet angles, and consequently, obtuse angles quite often bully cute angles, which seems a bit unfair, but they're only doing that because they feel a bit undermined because they're not as cute as the cute angles, and they're a bit obtuse, which is a shame because actually they've got their own merit, obtuse angles, and if they only stop worrying about not being quite as cute as the cute angles, or as intelligent as the cute angles, they'd really have a happier time, and actually they'd find out that they had quite a lot in common with the acute angles because they're both angles. So why don't they just, come together? We're all just angles, right? Whether you're cute or obtuse, you're all angles and you've got that in common, and you can talk to each other, just sort of find out what makes each other tick. Find out why maybe you're feeling the way you do. And if you do disagree, if a cute angle and an obtuse angle disagree on something, maybe they can just talk about it rather than shout at each other or write angry tweets about each other. It'd be a much better angly world, I think, if we could just bring the obtuse and the cute angles together. And often you can bring an obtuse angle and a cute angle together, and if they match, you get a lovely sort of straight line. And isn't that all what we all really want? Just a nice, steady, straight line without any of the angles fighting with each other because they're worried about not being intelligent enough or not being cute enough. And of course, sometimes the cute angles get a bit caught up in being so cute and think they're better than the obtuse angles. It's not all just, one-way traffic of obtuse angles maybe bullying the cute angles. The cute angles get a bit smug about how sweet they are and undermine the obtuse angles, and that just seems ridiculous and a shame. So basically, today's homeschooling with the niNcompOOps is more than an explanation. It's really a plea to all the angles of the world, whether they're obtuse or cute. So just come together and talk to each other, and maybe iron out their differences so they can be a straight, lovely flat line. And I think the world would be better that way. We need to appreciate what both sorts of angles bring to the table, which is angles and degrees. Now, obtuse angles, interestingly, despite certainly feeling that they're not as intelligent or as sweet as the cute angles, obtuse angles do have more degrees. So that's a pun. So enjoy that, and let's see if we can create a world where no angle feels lesser than another angle, and we can all just live together in angly harmony. I think that's not too much to ask for. So good luck doing that, everyone, bringing the angles together, and come back. The next edition of Homeschooling with the niNcompOOps will be Andy Stanton. Oh, Dr. Andy Stanton, telling you about another of St Dictionary's book of words, and maybe trying to make the world a better place like we have today by getting angles to be friends. So tune in next time, whatever that means.
Hello, you perpendicular little tremblers. It is another day of homeschooling with the niNcompOOps. Yeah! I am Professor Andy Stanton. I know everything there is to know about the English language. I've got a book with all the words in the English language in it. Keeps attacking me. Oh, I'm being attacked by knowledge. Don't throw books. It's very immature. Right. What is the book called? It's got all the words of the English language. The Oxford Children's Narachydony. The Narachydony. And what I'm going to do is open up the Narachydony and choose a word completely at random, and then I'm going to educate all your little brains about that word. Let's see. Don't look at the book. At random, the word is nick. Nick. Now, we have in the past had the word burglar, haven't we? And to illustrate the word burglar, I did introduce you to Jason the burglar. And what do burglars do? They nick things. So perhaps if we all very good, and if we all keep nice and quiet, perhaps if I go out for a minute, Jason the burglar will come back and he will show you what nick means. Yeah, that's right, it's me. I'm back. Jason the burglar! Jason the burglar! I'm quite glad that Andy Stanton picked the word nick today because that's what I know. I know everything about nicking stuff because I'm a burglar and I nick stuff. Let's see what there is to nick. Oh no, not all this again. I've been here before. All these stupid books. I hate books and I hate reading because I'm a burglar. I hate reading. I hate books so much. I bet. Yeah, you shouldn't throw books around, but I don't care because I don't know no better because I'm a burglar. Right, let's see what I can nick. Let's see what I can nick. Oh, hello. There's something. Look at that. Blue Peter Award, what Andy Stanton won for his children's books. But now it's going to be mine. I'm going to have it instead because I'm a burglar and I've nicked it. Right, what else can we have? Oh, look at this! Loads of flipping money. Oh, look at that. Oh, there's a tenner in there. I'm going to nick that because I'm a burglar. I'm just going to put it there. Going to put it right there because I've nicked it now. That's where I keep my money because I'm stupid. What else can we nick? Oh, hello. I'm gonna nick one book. I'm just gonna nick his favourite book because just to annoy him, not because I want it. That's a Harry Potter one. That's his favourite one. And I just given myself another kind of nick. I just nicked me finger on a page. And that is a different type of nick. When something gives you a little cut, or you cut yourself shaving, or you're picking up a paperback like that, and it gives you a little nick on your finger, that is a different sort of nick. Now my finger hurts. I'm such a cowardly burglar, and I was trying to nick a book, but now I have nicked my finger on that book instead. And also, another type of nick has just happened because I have just been given a different name. I've been given a nickname, and it is called Jason the Cowardly Burglar. So that is 3 types of nick. Nicking stuff, nicking your finger on a sharp thing, and being given a nickname, Jason the Cowardly Burglar. I hate my life so much. Right, I'm off. I hope you learned something. Actually, I don't care if you learned something or not. I hate education because I'm a burglar. I'm just going to nick this store. And now, one more type of nicking. I'm going to nick off now. Well, there you go, guys. That was Jason the burglar. Well, he always gets my store.
Hello, my bouncy little heartstrings. I hope today is treating you well. I hope it's about to treat you better because it's time for homeschooling with the niNcompOOps. Now, my name is Dr. CARRIE QUINLAN. My brain is so full of knowledges and wisdom that it's very nearly pouring out of my ears. But it's not pouring out of my ears, don't be frightened. It's all absolutely fine. Ears intact, nothing pouring out. You won't get freaked out. It won't get all ooky. What it will get, though, is super clever. It's about to get super clever because I have with me St Dictionary's Book of Weeds, and I'm going to explain to you a weed from St Dictionary's book. Oh yeah. Ready? Warming up. And we're going to stop there. What have we got? We've got spindle. Spindle. Just going to check. I totally know what that means, but I'm just going to check that St Dictionary's Book of Weeds knows what that is. It? Wow. Oh. Right. Cool. Okay. Yeah. Good. So that's what a spindle is. I totally knew that. I totally knew that it's a thin rod on which you wind thread. That's a spindle. It's basically then it's a stick or a finger. Imagine this finger was made of wood, right? You wouldn't be able to hook it on anything because it's just. So that's right. That's your spin. So you wind thread around it, You wind the thread all the way around it. Keep winding, keep winding, keep winding, keep winding. Now that's a spindle now, right? So you wind your thread, right? Oh, sorry, there's a lot of thread. Yep. And there's your spindle, which is your stick with some thread on it. Right. What you need to do with it then, what a spindle is for, okay, is hanging your washing up. So what you do is you get the end of a bit of thread here, and then you tie it. You tie it to a fence post or maybe your cat, but tie it quite gently if you're using your cat for your washing line, because they don't like it. They might wriggle, but just tie it gently round your cat or a fence post, and then you walk to the other end of the garden. Now the beauty of a spindle is that the thread just spins off it like that, and it just goes brrrr, and I'll pretend I'm over there, but I'm over here now, so you can see brrrr, which incidentally is probably the noise your cat is making, because initially it may not have enjoyed having some string tied around it, but now it's quite enjoying it. So it's saying, very much like the spindle. And you take the spindle to the other end of the room or the garden or school, and you find yourself another fence post or a hook, maybe a coat hook or something where you hang your coat and you put your lunchbox in your bag, one of those sorts of hooks, or you find a teacher. They'll probably protest even more than the cat about you, because you're going to want to tie this end of the string from the end of the spindle around that teacher. Now they'll protest more than the cat, which is hard to believe, because the cat really didn't enjoy having a string tied around it, but the cat started to enjoy it, and your teacher will start to enjoy it and have to tie it around, and not too tight. And then what you've got is a washing line from your cat or a fence post to a hook or your teacher, and you can hang all your washing on it, and your washing can dry while you're going about the rest of your day. So a spindle allows you to create a washing line between your cat and your teacher in order to dry your washing. So good. God bless the spindle. That's what I say. So there, you've learned something very important. And I knew all about spindles before I opened the book and checked what it meant. And so that's what it is. So now you can go and tell everyone you Zoom that you know what a spindle is, and that you can, if necessary, if there's ever any wet washing around you, you know what to do. As long as you've got a spindle. You might have to carry the spindle with you, but that's, you've got your lunchbox or your bag that you've put on your peg, so it's probably fine. So there you go. Spindle. We'll come back next time to see Professor Andy Stanton explain to you another amazing word, so that you can go about your day again, Zoom people and tell them what that word is. Today's word is spindle, but it'll be something else tomorrow. That's the beauty of St Dictionary's Book of Weeds. It's absolutely stuffed with weeds. Look at it. Goodness me. I mean, who knows? We might never get through all of this, but I'll tell you what, we're going to try.